Welcome to Great Neighborhood Cooks. I'm your host, Rob Kircher. Each week I'm going to be knocking on the doors of amazing cooks who live down the street or around the corner. Who knows, maybe from your own neighborhood. For the most part, they're unsung cooks known mainly to their family and friends, or they might be cooks from that great little hideaway restaurant that we love to discover. Either way, their relative obscurity is about to change as I bring them into the spotlight. So who will be the next discovered great neighborhood cook? Well, stay tuned to find out. So who will be the next discovered great neighborhood cook? Well, we're about to meet a wonderful woman who is an incredible cook, and she used to be an owner of a restaurant on Cape Cod Bay. So let's knock on her door and let's meet Ruth. Hi Ruth,
Hi, Rob.
how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, come right in.
Appreciate it. Folks, you're in for a real treat. You're going to be meeting Ruth, who we just met a few seconds ago. But Ruth is a very accomplished chef. And Ruth, you've been at it for quite a number of years now,
Yes,
haven't
I
you?
have, yeah, over 40.
Over 40 years, yeah. Give us a sense for how you got into the business and who you've worked with and so on.
Well, we do volunteer for the Naples Winter Wine Festival every year, and we've been doing that for about 10 years, so I do get to meet a lot of celebrity chefs, and that part is fun. I actually started working for my father. He was an executive with the Boston Globe magazine, and he loved to entertain, and my mother hated to cook. So I got pressed into service very early, and it's something that I've always loved, and I kind of kept my pockets lined with change during college, high school and college, working in restaurants. So
It's essentially self-taught as well.
I am
You
self-taught.
didn't go to culinary school or anything like that?
no, I did not. No, but Julia Child was always a mentor of mine. So
Julia Child?
Yes.
Well, how about that? Okay. And then you and your husband owned a restaurant and an inn, right?
We
In
did. We
Brewster?
owned the Bramble Inn in Brewster for 32 years, and we sold that in April. So
And it specialized in seafood
yes,
cuisine,
mostly
right?
seafood,
Yeah.
which is where the dish that we're doing today
Yeah, I was
is.
just going to ask you, what are we
yeah.
doing today?
We're doing an assorted seafood curry, which
Ooh.
was on the menu for almost as many years as we owned the restaurant. And,
Wow.
And we got hate mail if we took that off. It was one that had to be on the menu every night.
Okay, what's the banana for?
That's part of the dish. Normally we would grill it, but we're going to saute it today since we are fresh out of grills.
Well, good. Well, let's start. Let's get into
Okay.
it. So, Ruth, you're going to start making the sauce now, right?
Yes, yeah, and this is a reduction sauce, and it's very user friendly. So we're going to start with a couple of cups of white wine.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're going to put that in, and then we're going to add orange juice. And the nice part about this sauce is that it's gluten-free and it's vegetarian.
Do its thing for a little bit, huh?
Reduced down. Yep.
So, Ruth, now we're going to be prepping the seafood, right?
Yes. Yep. So we have some grouper, we have some shrimp, we have some Maine lobster,
Wow.
and we have some sea scallops.
Well, all of my favorites.
Yes.
Wow.
So I have trimmed most of these, but the one thing you want to look for with a scallop is that hinge, because when that cooks, it turns into a rubber band. So you want to just peel
okay.
that off.
All right.
And then this lobster, I did one, but I thought I would probably show you. We're going to pull this right out of the shell. So to do this, and I generally do this over a bowl right after these are cooked when they're still hot, because I like to get all the juice. I like to save the juice to make sauce for another dish that I like to do.
That's my favorite part that you're bringing up.
Oh, I know. So you just break off the knuckle meat,
Yeah.
and that you can save for a sandwich later.
Ooh.
And then the claw, again, there's usually some nice juice in there, so I try and save it.
Get all of
Just-
that you can,
Yeah,
right?
break that off. And
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you try and get that little filament out.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't get the little claw, but we can get that later and add it to our lobster salad. So you don't want to dull
really?
your knife.
Okay.
So
Wow, look at that.
And if you
Another
just,
great tip right
yeah,
there.
if you tilt the knife, it usually breaks
It'll
the
break
shell.
apart.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow.
and then you just pull the meat
And
right
look,
out.
that is perfect. And these guys are a little more difficult than knuckles.
They are, but you know, if you break this part off like that,
Yeah.
you can pull that out. And if you take this, and again, just hit it, send it flying, and then just poke it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can use a chopstick, you can use
Yeah.
your finger, you can use, you know. Now there's two ways of doing this. You can either break the tail off and just pull the lobster through, but we're going to cut right down the center because we're going to use a half a lobster tail for each serving that we do.
Now, why wouldn't you do that from the underside?
It just cuts easier this
Does it
way.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like
Yeah.
it would be more difficult.
No, it isn't.
Wow, look at that.
So again, we're going to do this at 500. Let me just open this up.
Now, this is grouper that
It is.
was caught locally, right?
That's right. And then we're going to spray this with a nonstick spray.
Okay.
Put these little guys on here.
Ah, and then your scallops.
Yep.
Ooh.
Couple of shrimp. So I'm going to spray this paper. You can use parchment, wax paper, anything like that. I'm just going to tuck it down around the fish just to seal it in a little bit because it's going to cook in its own juice.
That's a really
So
good tip.
I'm going to pop this in the oven. Go. Now we're going to, this is reduced down a little more than half, which is perfect, and we're going to add the heavy cream.
And you sort of eyeball it, right?
Yeah,
Or you're putting the whole container in.
yeah.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
this is going to reduce way down.
Wow. So your other ingredients are what?
We have a little bit of sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to add that just for sweetness. A little bit of turmeric.
Oh, turmeric, yeah.
Yeah, just I like the color and I
Yeah.
like the little taste that it has. And then this is 3 tablespoons of curry powder.
curry.
And this is just any prepared,
Yeah.
like a Madras curry. I like a little bit of heat, but not a lot. I want it to catch the back of your palate
Yeah.
after you taste the sweet and the
Yeah.
flavor. So this is a chili garlic sauce, like a sambal paste. And I'm just going to whisk this a little bit just to incorporate it.
Yep.
And again, we're going to let that reduce down.
So this can reduce for another, 5-10 minutes, something like that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Wow.
while we're doing that, I'm going to wipe curry sauce all over my counter here. I'm going to do the banana. Sultan's got nothing on us.
Well, your bananas look amazing.
Yeah.
Caramelized beautifully.
I think our seafood's ready, Rob.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks great.
That parchment paper is such a great tip.
It is, yeah. Really works well. Okay, we're ready to set this
Okay.
up. We've warmed our plates a little.
Love the plate.
Yep. Now we're going to take these bananas,
Isn't that clever? Okay.
make like a little fish tail,
Yeah. And your chutney, huh?
little chutney right on top.
Wow. I keep saying wow, but it's a wower. I mean, there's no question about it. And that's just plain white rice, right?
This is white rice. We're going to make a line down the center of the plate here. And then our seafood. Start with some shrimp.
Yeah.
And a scallop.
Now this just come to you in the middle of the night and one night? And
Yes, my husband can attest to that.
and your grouper,
Fish
your wonderful
goes on
grouper.
here.
Wow. Folks, I got to tell you something. The aroma is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And then our
I know you're
lobster tail
a wonderful lobster.
and the claw. We kind of like to stand up a little, give it a little pizzazz.
Great. Look at that. Wow. That is a work of art.
And then we're going to ladle our sauce over this.
Ruth, I got to tell you something. Outstanding. I mean, just from the
Thank you.
presentation and the aroma, wow.
I'm just spreading a little coconut on here now.
Yeah.
So there
Look
we
at
have
that, folks.
assorted seafood curry.
Look at that, folks. Unbelievable.
Kind of looking like a fish a little
It
bit.
does. It definitely does. Now, what kind of wine would you pair this with?
Well, because I like Alsatian wine with something a little spicy, I've selected an Alsatian.
Well, Ruth, this is an incredible treat to say
Thank
least.
you.
And I can't wait to dive in. So, thank you so
Cheers.
much. Wow, let's try this. Oh wow,
It's
that
got
is
a
so.
great little nose.
It does, and it's so fresh.
It almost has like a Sauterne nose, but you don't get the sweet.
Yeah.
It's dry.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
yeah, nice fruity wine.
Well, now the most important thing, right?
Yes.
Let's dive into this thing.
Absolutely.
What do you suggest we start? Is it one part or another?
Well, I'm a lobster fan.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to jump
have a
into the
bite of
lobster
that.
myself. Yeah, that looks amazing. Oh my goodness, Ruth, it's extraordinary. It really is.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Well, Ruth, this is an incredible meal, and it's such a treat. I'm so happy to be here. And folks, to learn more about Ruth and to be able to download the recipe for this incredible meal, you can go to our website, which is www.greatneighborhoodcooks.com, and you'll also see some behind-the-scenes shots and a little more information about Ruth. So, again, congratulations. This is fabulous. And thank you for allowing us in your home.
My pleasure. It was a great time.
At DeRoma's Gourmet Market and Restaurant, they do things differently. They do it the authentic way. For example, why is their fresh homemade mozzarella the best you've ever tasted? Well, take a look at this. Well, it's because it's made slowly and lovingly, the way it's been produced for generations. It's the same with their incredible custom blended DeRoma wines. They go hand in hand. The art is in the pairing, like everything else thoughtfully prepared at DeRoma's Gourmet Market and Restaurant. It's Little Italy at the Promenade in Bonita Springs. I'm here with Jim Gerard, who is the owner of Kitchens by Ambient. I got to tell you something, it's a beautiful kitchen. You got to be very proud.
This is what it's all about, Rob.
I'd like you to meet the homeowner. This is Nadine.
Hi Nadine, how
This
are
is
you?
Rob.
Tell us a little bit about the experience that you had.
And going over the design, and he's like, where do you want this? How many drawers do you want? How deep do you want? Where do you want? How do you do this? And I'm like, whoa, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted.
So they related well.
Very well. Really the kitchen of my dreams.
Wow, fantastic.
I love it, love it.
On September 10th, 2017, Hurricane Irma unleashed her fury and powerful winds on southwest Florida, leaving many homeowners in a state of dismay. I was one of them. Days turned into weeks, and that turned into months. Among the maze of promising roof contractors and so-called experts, one company stood out, ACC Mastercraft. And I want you to do me a favor. Folks, contact them. They're on Trade Center Way. They are unbelievable. They do two things that I was blown away by. One, they believe in service, and two, they believe in helping you. Can you imagine that? It's true. Contact them. It's the best thing you can possibly do for yourself. And when you do, I want you to call me and let me know how you make out, because they're unbelievable. Seriously. Who will be the next discovered great neighborhood cook? Well, I'm here in Bonita Springs, Florida, and we're about to meet a most inventive person. She is a cook that does things so differently. So let's go in and meet her. Come on.
Hello.
ZaZa, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, come on in, but you have to put your booties on.
I can put booties on?
Yeah.
I gotta put booties on. Okay. Folks, I'm very excited for you to meet our next great neighborhood cook. She's an amazing person who is extremely inventive, as I said at the beginning, and you're gonna love what she's gonna do. Let's take a look over here, and we're gonna meet ZaZa. How are you, ZaZa?
Good, how are you?
And ZaZa, what are you gonna be doing for us today?
I'll be making portobello pizza mushrooms.
Portobello pizza mushrooms. Well, that sounds amazing. And I know in speaking with you earlier, you kind of shy away from salt, right? You don't use a lot of salt.
No. I'm trying to stay healthy, so this is a good alternative to bread because the mushrooms have a lot of vitamin D, a lot of magnesium and zinc, and no carbs. Well, first thing you do is you clean your portobello mushrooms. You take the stems off.
Okay.
You're going to wash them and let them dry first, and then you put them in a pan. You can put parchment paper if you like, or aluminum foil, little pan, you know, so it doesn't stick. So you have to cook them 3 times, these portobello mushrooms. 3 times.
Wow, okay.
So you put a little olive oil on top of the portobello's head. Not a lot, because what happens with the mushrooms is after they're done cooking and they've, you know, cooled down a bit, they will spit out basically the oil, any extra juices that you have.
Wow, that looks amazing. Super hot, perfect. So now you put your toppings in, right?
Yes, but I like to put my toppings on this side of the mushroom. And you shouldn't use your fingers because it's hot.
Okay.
So you could put whatever you like on them, but I like to put arugula.
Arugula?
Do you like arugula?
I love arugula.
Okay, so you can make some with arugula, you can make some without. I also put my homemade sauce on it.
Now what is in your homemade sauce?
Tomatoes.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. It's not a secret. Just tomatoes, garlic, lots of basil. I always add tomatoes.
Tomatoes?
Like some tomatoes. And you can do the prep work while they're cooking, if you like. So you can add jalapenos if you like spice.
For some reason, folks, as I've gotten older, I have a higher tolerance for spicy food, so this is wonderful. Love it.
You can put cheese on it. Do you usually help the cook or no?
That's Swiss cheese, right? What is that?
No, this is Jarlsberg.
Ah, okay.
And the reason I use Jarlsberg because it has flavor, and it doesn't melt as quickly as other cheeses because they will run.
Okay, yeah.
So we put some olives.
And what kind of olives are they?
These are Greek olives, Kalamata olives.
Yeah.
And don't forget the basil. You need fresh basil.
Yeah, fresh basil.
So
Wow.
I cut it right off the plant. Now you can put 1 or 2, it doesn't matter, just to make it look pretty. You take the bigger leaves, it looks really nice. And then if you like, you can put feta. My husband likes feta on
feta.
top.
At least on mine, put feta for sure.
So you try to put it in the middle, it'll fall, and then I usually pick it up and put it back on the
It
mushroom.
also adds a nice little contrasting color.
Now we put it back in the oven for 15 minutes.
At what temperature?
Oh, you leave it at the same temperature?
Same temperature, okay.
So Alexa, set timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Okay, so ZaZa, it's finished now, right?
Yes, it is.
Wow, look at that.
Looks good, huh?
Unbelievable. Oh, the aroma is incredible. I love it.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is
Yeah?
we're going to put them on a pretty plate.
Oh, make it look pretty.
Yes.
So you're going to put it in a bag of arugula?
On top of arugula or
Yeah.
whatever you like.
Yeah.
And then I like to sprinkle a little balsamic glaze on it.
Oh,
Just to
yeah.
give it a little sweet flavor.
that looks absolutely unbelievable, folks.
Would you like to try it?
Yeah, I would definitely love to try it. So ZaZa, I brought a nice Malbec here. This is a 2006, and I think you're going to love it.
Oh, thank you.
You can go to our website, which is www.greatneighborhoodcooks.com, and you can download ZaZa's recipe, and also there'll be some behind-the-scenes shots and a little more about ZaZa. Wow, I'm going to try that.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit is right. Wow. You know what, ZaZa? You're absolutely right. Folks, it's delicious. It's salty, but it's good salt, I guess you can say that, right, ZaZa? And it's absolutely amazing, so congratulations, ZaZa. Folks, we'll be back with our another great neighborhood cook right after this.
Why do Hall of Famers like Mike Ditka choose Dr. Franz and Dr. Corinth for their cataract surgery?
I would recommend Franz Eye Care to everybody. anybody who has an eye problem, it's a quality of life. You want a quality of life, and you want your life to be as good as it can be. And if you can fix a problem that you have, why wouldn't you fix it? And France Eye Care fixed my problem totally. They just did an outstanding job.
Call 239-418-0999 or visit the website at bettervision.net.
Folks, I'm here with Francis J. Cuomo. He's the owner of Roma's Gourmet Market. And Francis, every time I come in here, it's just bustling with activity. I love it.
Thank God. That's why we're here. We're here to feed people.
How many people do you get on a daily basis?
Well, it depends. You know, certain times of the year, like now, we average around 3,000 people a day on a Saturday and a Friday. Sundays we close a little early at 6, and we average around 1,500 to 1,800 people a day on a Saturday. So it just keeps growing.
And people
the restaurant yesterday, about 1,100 people.
Really?
In the restaurant
Wonderful.
alone.
Wonderful.
That's not including that.
Well,
So
you know,
we're very
you've got
blessed.
that magic going for here.
Yeah.
You know, you really do. It's the sight, the sound, the aroma, everything that
Yes.
you're so well known for.
I give God the credit. He gave me the energy and the foresight.
So, folks, if you really want to have a gourmet experience, you want to come to Roma's Gourmet Market in Bonita Springs and it's Little Italy right here in
Southwest Florida.
Southwest Florida.
Our own creation.
Hey, look, come on.
Kids on the rocks again. Hey, you kids can't play here.
Not fun. Fun. Golisano Children's Museum of Naples. Fun.
So who will be the next cook that we're going to discover on Great Neighborhood Cooks? Well, we're going to meet a woman who is, actually she's the youngest of 11 children and she comes from Italy and she is known in the neighborhood as an amazing Italian cook. So let's go knock on her door. Hi Lisa, how are you?
Hi, fine. How are you?
Well,
Come
good.
on in.
Well, thank you. Lisa is an amazing person. She's one of 11 children. You're actually the youngest, right?
Yes.
And so you are a Italian cook extraordinaire, right?
Oh, I guess so.
And Lisa, what are you going to be doing today for us?
Manicotti.
Crepes manicotti.
Yes.
Okay.
We just say manicotti.
Yes, manicotti. Okay.
Right.
And so why don't we jump into that?
Okay.
So what do you have in your batter over here? This is your
Okay, 2 cups of flour,
2 cups of flour.
2.5 cups of water, 2 eggs, a big pinch of salt,
Okay.
and 2 tablespoons
Yep.
of olive oil.
Yeah.
You put everything in a big bowl, and then you mix it a little bit by hand, but then you get the mixer, and that does a great job. It makes it nice and creamy, get all the lumps out.
Now this is where you're going to learn how to do a proper crepe. So she has 2.
So what I did is I
pans.
graced 2 small frying pans. That's what I call them, 2 small frying pans. And I greased them. I just put a little olive oil. I took off the excess with paper towel.
Okay.
And you get it pretty hot. So what you do is you use a little ladle. That's my measure. It's about 1/4 cup.
Quarter of a cup,
batter.
okay.
And you pour it in, and you swirl it around to even the bottom. And
That's
then
the
you put
important
it back.
technique right there, for
Even
sure.
the bottom. And I use 2 frying pans to make it go faster. You
Yeah.
could just use one, and it'll take you longer.
Right. So the crepe is actually very, very thin. I'm not going to say it's
when
paper thin, but it's very thin.
When it's cooked, it's very thin. It looks thicker now, but then when it cooks, it just thins out. So you wait, let that cook for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
So what happens? You see like telltale little bubbles coming up to the surface, and
Well, you start seeing it getting...
it's already doing it actually.
Yeah,
Isn't it? Yeah.
see a little
Yeah.
puffing in the middle,
Right.
and then the edges start getting drier looking.
Mm-hmm. Now you learned this recipe from whom?
When my brothers, we went over to my brother's fiance's house, to the family, to meet them, and they made this dish, and I never had it, and I loved it. So I learned it from them, how to make it.
Now this is
Like
the amazing
separate.
thing. She uses her hands to do this. She actually
Yeah.
flips it over with her hand.
Let me just get it. The fork helps me.
The forks help, yeah.
But I don't stab it. I just lift it with the fork and see how
Look
it
how
comes
delicate
right
that
up.
is. That is just, it's almost paper thin.
So
It's
then I
amazing.
grab it with my fingers and I
Flip it over. Look at that.
And my recipe, you can make around 20 crepes.
You can make 20 crepes, okay.
Oh,
And we'll post that
depending-
on the website, by the
Yeah,
way. so you
depending
have
how
that.
much you pour in there.
Yeah,
No, but-
okay, all right. Yeah, yeah, you'll see that the other side doesn't take long at all.
Not at all.
But they are paper thin,
Yep.
absolutely paper thin. Let's do it one more time because I think the folks would love to see your technique. So Lisa, you're now going to be putting your filling on the actual crepes, right?
Right.
So can you show us how you actually put the
Okay.
filling in one of your crepes?
Put a grape on his plate, and then I get a heaping tablespoon
Wow.
on there. And then just fold it.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm gonna put that in here, but I gotta put sauce on the bottom.
Okay. It's Parmesan, right?
Right.
To bring out the after. And look at that. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. Lisa, the aroma is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to try these. So, how do you get one out without messing it up, I guess?
Yeah, it's the first two are the hardest to get out.
Go for one.
Go for one.
Go for one. There you go. Beautiful. Ooh, you made it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And wow.
Cheers.
So, Lisa, thank you so much for allowing us into your wonderful home and for experiencing how you make this amazing crepes manuka.
You're welcome.
Okay. And I can't wait to try it. Good wine. Okay.
Very good one.
So good, folks. Oh my goodness. It melts in your mouth. This is extraordinary. It really is.
Thank you.
So folks, the recipe will be on our website, www.greatneighborhoodcooks.com. And you also have some behind the scenes shots and you'll learn more about Lisa. So you definitely want to watch for that. So we'll see you the next time when we do another segment of Great Neighborhood Cooks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It doesn't move, doesn't move.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Oops.
Ah,
I didn't do it right.
no. put it-
Opening the door.
Let's do that.
You move around.
Well, I gotta move. All right, do it again.